Heart Talk.
Hey, hey, it's Caribbean Connect, cross-cultural broadcasting. Get ready to reflect. From the sunny shores to the deep blue sea, it's everything Caribbean for you and me. From Trinidad to Jamaica, feel the rhythm in the air. Grenada to Barbados, the island vibes we share. St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua's on the line. 17 islands, one heartbeat intertwined. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you, cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Cultural stories, news, and the sweetest tunes, sunshine mornings and those starry nights moons. Dance with the spirit of the island so bright, in every beat and melody we unite. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you. Cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Feel the pulse, feel the pride. Across the waters, far and wide, we celebrate, we elevate, in every note, let's vibrate. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you, cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Caribbean Connect, we're one family, 17 islands, one unity. Cross-cultural broadcasting, the world will see, the beauty of the Caribbean, endlessly.
Okay, good. Please have your microphones muted, please. Please have your microphones muted until we are set to begin. We are in the final preparations of uh, the program. So if you would have your microphones muted, I would appreciate it so much. Okay, folks, out there in around the world, in Zambia, Nigeria, and around the world, we are getting set to begin the program, and we hope that you guys are locked in. One of our guests is already here, so give us a few more minutes and we will be with you shortly.
Hey, it's Caribbean Connect, cross-cultural broadcasting. Get ready to reflect. From the sunny shores to the deep blue sea, it's everything Caribbean for you and me. From Trinidad to Jamaica, feel the rhythm in the air. Grenada to Barbados, the island vibes we share. St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua's on the line. 17 islands, one heartbeat intertwined. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you, cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Cultural stories, news, and the sweetest tunes, sunshine mornings and those starry nights moons. Dance with the spirit of the island so bright, in every beat and melody we unite. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you. Cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Feel the pulse, feel the pride. Across the waters, far and wide, we celebrate, we elevate, in every note, let's vibrate. Caribbean Connect, we bring the islands to you, cross-cultural broadcasting with a tropical view. From reggae to soca, calypso, and more, tune in, turn up, let the music roar. Caribbean Connect, we're one family, 17 islands, one unity. Cross-cultural broadcasting, the world will see, the beauty of the Caribbean, endlessly.
Voices of youth unleashed globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising, with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, where every voice builds a better world. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising, with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, where every voice builds a better world.
Well, good morning. Good morning to everyone. This is Doc here in the studio, and this is Caribbean Connect, and we are connecting you with the rest of the world. And today is an amazing day again for Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally. And we have a few young people that are supposed to be in the studio to join with me. Unfortunately, um, our main host, who's supposed to take the lead this morning, she suddenly got ill today, and I know right now she's on her way traveling. So we say a little prayer for her. Hope that everything works out well for her. Miss Lucy, we hope that you're doing well, and we hope that you will improve. But as the producer of the show, um, my name is Clarence Green, and they call me Doc. So I would be stepping into her plate this morning, into her shoes, and I hope I can do a good job with these young people here. Today's topic is entitled uh, Men Who Exploit Women for Sexual Reasons on a Job. And I think I'm saying it right, but I'm not sure I'm saying it right, and I'll pull it up in a minute. But that's basically what it is, men who exploit women for sex on the job. And we have in our studio already, we have one of our special guests. Um, and I'll ask them at this point in time to unmute their phone and introduce themselves to our audience. So if you can unmute yourself and let's begin the conversation. I know you're there. I'm seeing you. I'm looking for you to unmute yourself and let's have this conversation as we wait for the other guests to come in. We are waiting on two other guests, and I hope that they'll be here very soon. Okay, so here we have some other folks in the studio here that are with us. Please unmute your microphone and let's get the conversation going. I don't see a response from them, so let's hold on a little bit. Maybe they stepped away from their particular studio, and they will be back with us. Well, one of the problems that we have in the world is women complaining about sexual advances by men. Um, you know, women complaining all over the world, not just in Zambia and Nigeria. First, we want to get an idea of what's happening in those countries, but all over the world, even Trinidad and Tobago, the United States, recently had a big uproar, um, a big backlash with women taking men to court for these type of advances, and not just advances. Recently, something that has been going on many years way back, and they brought those cases back. They call them cold cases, and they brought them back to the front. So we want to discuss this morning in a global from a global perspective. Um, how do women feel about it? How do men feel about it? If the accusations are mostly true, and I don't want to flip the coin, but I'm sure some of the men may say it happens to us as well. So we want to talk about it from the standpoint of um, the women, and we are hoping that we get them in here and and have this conversation. So I'm still waiting for my guests to unmute their microphone and let's begin the conversation. But I'm not getting any feedback, any responses from them. So I'm here in the studio alone, and let's see what happens. All right, we continue to listen and look out. If you guys that are listening have any ideas of what we're talking about, or you have been experiencing that yourself on the job, or you know someone that's experiencing that on the job, you can easily text us at +1 868 397 5961. That's +1 868 397 5961. Or you can simply text us and ask us for the link to come into the studio, and you can be a part of the show. So we take a short break right here. I'll play an ad or so, and then we'll come right back.
Voices of youth unleashed globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, where every voice builds a better world.
Okay, well, we have one of our guests here in the studio with us, and let me see if I could pronounce his name without embarrassing myself or embarrassing him. It's always a challenge for me to to pronounce names, African names. I think they're so exotic. I have to get myself an African name one of these days, maybe when I travel to Africa. His name is Isaac Bwalya. Yeah, maybe I'm pronouncing it kind of close, but you can introduce yourself or you can laugh at me, but introduce yourself in the proper way and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, according to the time where you are hearing me from. My name is Isaac Bwalia. Yeah, your pronunciation was just close to it.
Well, great. I'm doing better. I'm doing much better. Thank you so much for joining us today on Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, a program where we get the young people to tell us about what's happening in their neck of the woods, in their life, in their community, in their jobs, in their space, from their perspective. Unleashed, no holding back. Tell the truth, and let the world understand that the youth has a voice, and they have an opinion. So today's topic. Before I get into today's topic, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What is your profession? Are you in school? Let us know.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. Um, uh, there is one thing that I love about this world is that every man has got what's good for him and what makes him to be good. So my profession is all about um, coaching football, and yeah, I know it's not kind of it doesn't really fall to the extreme of saying that's my profession, but football is part of my profession, is part of my life, so I consider it as my profession and as also as my career because I can play and I can coach. So I consider that that's me, and I'm also into Christianity beliefs, so to say, like pastoring churches and stuff, ministering the gospel here and there. I believe you understand, sir.
That is excellent. You're physically fit, man. I wish I was like you. I think I was once physically fit like you. But
Oh,
football
beautiful.
is football is a big sport, man. I think it's the biggest sport in the world, and there are a lot of
Yeah.
success stories, lots of success stories of people who pursued it. So
Yes.
that's not a bad thing to be pursuing, man. That is a it's a very
Yes.
competitive place as well. But I think if you have the will and the ability, the sky is the limit. Not only the sky is the limit as far as achieving success, you achieve success financially as well and respect across the globe. So we want to congratulate you on that. The second thing is that you said you're a pastor. That's amazing. That whenever I hear young people talking about God and going in that direction, that's
Yes.
just that's just that puts the cap on the lid for me. It's just like right, yeah, he's in the right place.
Wow, beautiful.
All right, so thank you very much again for telling us a little bit about yourself. Well, unfortunately, Lucy fell ill this morning, and I'm filling in for her. So I hope I did. Yeah. We were expecting two other people, and hopefully they will join us as time goes by. So
Yes.
the topic this morning is men who exploit women sexually on the job. Have you heard about such a situation?
Yeah, yeah. I've heard of such situations, and back in Zambia, there is a lot of investigations going on due to the same cause of what is happening around the world. So, to start with, uh, sexual exploitation comes in with a lot of vulnerabilities, and uh, it comes with harassment against rights of a human, of a woman, so to say. So I begin to say sexual harassment. It's something that has to do with. Sorry, my network is not okay. Can you hear me?
We are hearing you very well. We're hearing you very well. So go right ahead.
Hello?
We are hearing you
Good.
very well. So go right ahead. We are hearing you well.
All right, thank you. So, as I was saying, here in Zambia, there's a lot of activities such as that, which are risen in most cases, and a number of the same issues are being recorded day and night, day in, day and night. Yeah, so this has really risen a concern of over what's happening around the world, of which we as Zambians we are looking into the issues where we can bring betterness in our community. So sexual harassment has really affected a lot of people around the world, especially in Zambia, to do with women, because when you look into Africa, Africa has got vulnerabilities in most communities, especially where gender equality is concerned.
You know, you brought up a really good point there concerning this is a situation that in my examination, it happens in
Yes.
all over the world. My next question to you would have been, why do you think this happened? You brought up an important word in your answer there just now, which talks about vulnerability. Um, Explain that a little bit to our listening audience. What makes a woman vulnerable on the job? We're not speaking about anywhere else. What makes a woman vulnerable on the job? And what gives the man the right, recognizing if there's such thing as a right, what gives the man any right if he recognizes that she is vulnerable to take advantage of that vulnerability?
All right. Where we talk of economic hardship, that's where it starts from, where a person can't manage to have an income. You understand? So we as men, we look into those angles to say, okay, this person can't manage this, but this person really, really, really wants to get this. You understand? This person is looking for this opportunity. He wants this opportunity. He wants to get it, no matter the circumstances, no matter the cause. This person has to get it. But we as men, when we are in charge, we take advantage of the same vulnerability which a woman has shown. You understand my point?
I understand your point very well.
Yes. So, what really? Sorry about that. What
You go
really?
ahead. Yeah,
Pardon.
go ahead. I'm listening. We are listening.
So, with me, with how I can answer your question, is yeah, I'll center Africa on this one, and especially Zambia. Zambia, we have got communities that have a lot of vulnerability women that can do anything, okay? That can do anything for the sake of the opportunity that they have seen. So, men, when we are in power, we take advantage of them. We'll be like, okay, this person to start with, it doesn't have, this person doesn't have okay, this person lacks of awareness. She lacks awareness of 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 uh exploitation. You understand? She lacks awareness of exploitation, and she doesn't fully understand legal and institution framework. She doesn't understand all those things. So for us men, when we look into how much does she know about exploitation, then when we discover that this person doesn't have this knowledge, when we discover that this person doesn't have this, then us men we get along with the situation. You
I
understand my
understand.
point?
I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying. I wish some of the women were here who were supposed to be on the broadcast to share with us from their perspective, their voices, what
Yes.
actually happens on the job. Because one of the things I'm getting to realize is that sometimes you have women, there are so many different areas of vulnerability where you
Mm-hmm.
have a woman might be on the job, she's trying to make a living to take care of herself and her family or her children. She may be not without a, she may not have a husband. He might have just left her in such a bad
Yes.
financial situation, that she feels that I got to get out there and begin to work to take care of these kids and take care of myself, and she's out
Yes.
there trying to do that, but things are not quite together where they are so supposed to be, and so she's vulnerable in that area. There's so many layers of vulnerability. There's another type of woman who might be vulnerable because she might be single, and she
Yes.
may be trying to get over the loss of a lover in her life. Her man left her, her boyfriend left her, and she's going through and trying to pull herself together, but she has to work. And so in that,
Mm-hmm.
there's a silent layer of vulnerability that she's going through, even though she's on the job and she may be smiling and she may be doing things. Somebody
Yes.
might be going through another situation where somebody in the family died, whether it's a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a husband. Um,
Yes.
Somebody might have died, and that's another layer of vulnerability. Some people might just be broke. You don't even know
Yeah.
how
Exactly.
you don't even know how they get into
Exactly.
work. They get into work by crumbs. They get into work by taking a lift in a car or walking long distances, and they might be hungry. That's another area of vulnerability. That person might be hungry on the job. They might be drinking water. They may just eat one meal a day, or they will try to survive during the day because the little food that they have younger mouths to feed, and they rather feed those mouths than to feed themselves. And all those areas of vulnerability open them up
Yes.
and make them susceptible to fall prey to men who would sense that there is something wrong. They will sense that thing. And in some cases, some of them may take it the attention they may be getting from the men, who
Yes.
might be in a better financial position.
Mm-hmm.
They may take it for love. They may take it for somebody caring for them. They may take it for so many different things, but it may
Mm-hmm.
not be exactly what they think it is. And then there are those on the job who may not have those areas of vulnerability, but they
Yes.
may they may want promotion.
Yes. Yes.
They may want some promotion. It's not a financial issue. Well, it's not a grieving issue. It may not end any of those issues. They just want to go up the corporate ladder, and in going up the corporate ladder, they pursuing it in such a way. They want it so bad, they will do anything to get it, and they exploit it. They are women who wants a job, and just because they want a job, they may be subject to wanting the boss wanting them to sleep with them or to do certain things that are immoral to get the job, especially when you think that if I don't get this job, I starve. If I don't get this job, my children can't
Mm-hmm.
eat, they can't go to school. We have situation, and in
Mm-hmm.
some cases they may, in some cases, not all cases, they have the strong ones who would say, no, no, sir, this is not happening, not on my watch. I don't care what, I'm not selling my body, I'm not doing this. And then in some cases, some others may say, you know what, I got to do what I have to do because there are other people depending on me. I really need this job. And they're not going to trust God to some degree. They're not going to trust God to say, well, look, God may work out something. It's one thing to criticize them when you
Yes.
are not
Yes.
in the
Yes.
situation, and say make your comments and all that kind of stuff, but he whose hand is in the fire understands the heat. And some people would say, if you can't stand the fire, get out of the kitchen. So the thing about it is that in their situation, they may bend towards, when you have a hungry stomach, or you have some mouths that are depending on you to eat food,
Yes.
and there's an opportunity for a dollar to come in at the cost of losing your dignity, at the cost of being exploited by somebody, sexually or otherwise. It's a difficult situation for some women to say no, because listen, we could say what we want to say and we could cry them down, but we
Yeah.
don't know what it's like to watch some mouths that are hungry and need food, and the only means for them to get that is through mommy. and mommy, they don't know what mommy has to go through or put up with. And I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying, when your hands
Mhm.
are in the fire, you
Yes.
alone know why you bend in certain ways to to um to allow yourself to be exploited. So you could talk about that a little bit.
Yes. Exactly that. Exactly what you have said. Exactly what you have said. When I look at my community today, especially when you are in town at night, you discover that there is a lot of women standing, a lot of women selling their bodies for the sake of feeding their household. You understand? So the thing is, uh, it's all about what you are going through that makes women fall into those things. When we look at the decisions that they make at the end of the day, where exploiting is concerned, there are some that are into doing things that we can't imagine that a person can do this. You understand my point?
Exactly.
There's a lot of things. So with me, I've got a simple question. I was looking into some just a simple research, and I saw a 50% of women being exploited by men, and 20% men being exploited by women. So my question is, does why is it that the world why is it that the world favors women more than men where exploitation is concerned? Because a vulnerable person can be a man, can be a woman, and why is it that the world favors them in most cases?
That's a really good question, and I don't want to get deep into it because it's something that we can talk to on a separate subject. But let's just address it, seeing that it came up because I knew it would come up. If you look at the whole world and how the whole world looks at life and addresses things,
Mm-hmm.
most times, even in abusive relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
I have dealt with abusive relationship on a deep level, as far as the research and stuff is concerned, since 1998.
Wow.
Um, you scarcely find the world paying attention to men who go through stuff from their spouse or their female partner or whoever it is, dishing
Yes.
out that level of abuse or exploitation on them. Now it happens. If you look at the
Yes.
police reports, if you look at all the precincts, if you look at the situation from a legal standpoint, from a law enforcement standpoint, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have as much reports coming in from the male perspective, from the male side, as do the woman. And here's one of the reasons nobody pays attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says, well, come on, you're a grown man, you're gonna allow you come up with this story that a woman exploit you sexually? Come on,
Exactly.
are you serious, bro? You,
Mm-hmm.
as a matter of fact, I remember one lady said to me, "You should be glad I'm touching you this way, because every man desires for a woman to do these type of things to him. You shouldn't be
Yes.
making a fuss." So I said, "But I don't know you like that. Why are you? Why do you think that you have the right to touch my body without my consent?" And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, why don't you go to the police station and make the report? See if they ain't
Yes.
gonna laugh at you that you are coming to complain because I'm touching you with or without your consent." And I said to her, I can guarantee you this, that if I was to go to the police station or the precinct to make the report, they definitely would scorn me and laugh at me. But I bet you, without even me touching you,
Yes.
if you would go to the police station and lie and say that I touched you, I bet you I'd be arrested on the spot. And that's what
Yes.
happens around the globe. So that while it happens and it's a real situation that happens in the men's world,
Yes.
it is not taken as seriously. And it's not, I mean, you look at students, you see in the universities, in the
Mm-hmm.
classroom, a lot of female teachers, lecturers, they exploit the young men, young, strong, good looking guys, nice bodies, and these women exploit some of these young men and have illicit sex with them. They have, they exploit them and they do what they think they need to do. Here's the funny thing
Mhm.
about that: none of the young men reports that.
Wow.
You know why? Because they
Mm-hmm.
think
Tell
it's a
me.
privilege, even though there's a vulnerability and they're underage and it's against the university rules for a lecturer or a teacher to have these type of relationships with the students. In
Mm-hmm.
the mind of the young man, he is saying, if my lecturer, being a female, she's nice and she's cute and she has a nice body, married or unmarried, feels that I'm all that and some, and she wants to come on to me, well, hell yes, I'm letting her do it, because guess what? I feel like I have something under my belt, in
Yeah.
that I am now sexually involved with my teacher, and I see it as a big thing as a student. It's not until sometimes you have the parents recognize what's happening, or somebody else recognize what is happening, that is turned into an illegal situation, and that's when the reports come out. But
Yes.
personally, from a young man's standpoint, he doesn't see it as exploitation. He sees it as if, oh, this is a trophy. I'm going to have a
Yes.
good time doing this. I probably get better grades as well, and
Yes.
that is the situation. So globally speaking, and why we know for a fact as men, it does happen, but it's not
Yes.
reported and it's not looked down as horrible
Mhm.
as if
Yes.
a man would be doing it to a woman. Let me hear what you have to say on that.
All right. So I asked this question based on the research that I did, because I realized to say men are being disadvantaged in most cases where issues to do men and women are concerned. When you find a woman uh, having issues with a man, like, okay, I'll give you an example. I don't know which town you are in, but I'll give an example. Like, obviously you are in town and you see a woman beating a man. Like, a lot of people won't touch that man, that won't stop that fight. They'll be like, let's watch it. He's a man. He can do it. Is what and what. You understand that thing?
Exactly. I hear you.
And
I agree with you.
everybody will be supporting a woman without realizing on time to say that person might be killed. That person might be killed, and the people will be like, let him be, let him be, let him stand his ground, let him stand his ground. He's a man, he's a grown-up guy. Come on. People are dying in such things. So with me, I feel the world has to make some changes where where women and a man where women and men's right are concerned, because as men we have been advantaged, because every time when we go to prison, you discover that men face a lot of you discover that a lot of men are in prison more than women. Women are committing same crimes, men are committing same crimes, and men are facing the consequences of those crimes. But women, they go through mental therapies, those kind of situation where they can be helped out. They can be helped out. So the same thing applies in the sexual exploitation, because us men, we are facing it at the at the largest point of it, men to men. You understand that point? And the
I'm
man can't
hearing you
report to
loud
another
and
man.
clear. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, and I'm agreeing with you that
Yes,
it does happen in our world as well. That
yes,
women exploit men just as much, especially in this 21st century, where
yes,
women have the power, they have the education, they have the
yes.
jobs, they have the nice homes, they drive the nice cars, they are
Exactly.
financially solid, and they function on a level just
Yes,
the same way as what people describe men who are in those situations, the way the men function. So in the 21st century, what we've seen is a rise of the same type of behavior by women globally, of exploiting men on the job and in other circumstances as well.
yes, yes. So if the imbalances can be balanced, where women and men They have equal rights, they have equal power. I feel exploitation can lessen a little bit, because everybody can have help, everybody can have where they can run to, everybody can have who they can talk to say, oh, a woman is about to do this to me. A man will go to somewhere, a woman will go somewhere and say, report somewhere or let me say to the police station, oh, a man wants to do this to me. And those things should be favored equally, those rights should be favored equally. People should be in those positions to say, okay, me, I'm in a position, I know my rights as a man, I'll be favored when a woman exploit me. And the woman will have the same thing to say, I have rights. These kind of legal laws will guide what can I say, these legal laws will stand for me, will guide me when I'm in such a situation. You understand my point? So with me, when I was invited for the same thing, I looked into. You understand, sir?
I understand. I'm understanding you. Keep going.
Yeah. So I looked into a lot of a lot of what the way we can be affected to such acts. As a woman, how can she be affected when she goes through those things?
Oh, that's a good point to take a short break. We are here on Caribbean Connect. Today's program is Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally. I'm speaking to Mr. Isaac Walia. I think I'm getting better at it. And
Yeah.
this is Doc in the studio, and we are discussing men who exploit women on the job. And it's a great conversation. So when we come back, we're going to play a few messages, which we will not hear in the studio, but I'll play a few messages. And then when we come back, we will continue this great conversation. We take a turn as we try to figure out some of the areas and solutions to dealing with this situation.
Voices of youth unleashed globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, where every voice builds a better world.
Tips, training in personal safety. Are you a safety professional? Join our expert team at Tips and help shape the future of personal and public safety. We're seeking safety experts, trainers in all areas: security, health, emergency response, and more. Apply now and make safety your legacy. Contact us today. WhatsApp, Tips, 1-868-397-5961.
And we're back. You're listening to Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, and this is Doc in the studio. I'm speaking on the subject matter, men who exploit women on the job. And today I have with me Mr. Isaac um, Walia, and I've just been joined by our favorite host, Miss Lucy, and she's in the studio. So thank you, Miss Lucy, for joining us today. I know you're not 100% well, but thanks for making the effort. So we are about to turn the tables a little bit and try to discover some of the solutions and things as Mr. Isaac was alluding to before we took the break. But before we take the break, let's talk a little bit to Miss Lucy and hear her perspective on Miss Lucy. We are discussing the subject of men who um, sexually exploit women on the job. Let's hear your perspective on it before we turn the tables to another aspect of it. Let's hear what you have to say.
All right, so passing my greetings to everyone who is listening and to everyone on board.
I think you have some challenges with your internet. I hope you're in a quiet place. Yes, so let's continue discussing this whole subject. Are you there, Miss Lucy? Are we hearing you? We right now we're not hearing you. As soon as you come back in, let us know that you're ready to speak. Yes, Mr. Isaac. So let's continue the conversation.
Yes, sir.
So you were talking about the last thing you mentioned before we took a break. Continue going down on that with that conversation.
All right. So I was talking about the effects of what the effects which women first face when they are exploited.
So tell us the effects.
Okay. So to look into this matter, I believe there is emotional distress which comes in because when this person faces such challenges, there are those things to do with emotional damage where a person will be traumatized, where a person would develop anxiety and depression. You know, a woman will live to will live in that mess for a long period of time, and 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 help will not come from anywhere, not until that person goes to therapist, goes to some where they can where that person can be helped out. You understand my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of and also there is uh decrease satisfaction where the person is not satisfied with a job to say, "Ah, I can't get into job seeking again because the same situation will happen to me, the same scenario keep on happening to me. If I go look for a job this side, I'll be disadvantaged. If I go this side, I'll be disadvantaged." Those things, they really 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 kill a lot of women out there.
Wow. 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 Yeah. Um. Let's talk. That's a good contribution you just made there. Very serious contribution you just made there. Let's talk a little bit about why do you think, and I'm hoping that Lucy can join us as well with this
Yes.
question. Um, why do you think men feel they have the right? Because they function on a level as if it's their right. Not only they feel like it's their right, they're bold with it, and secondly, they think that if the woman doesn't cooperate with them
Mm-hmm.
in their twisted behavior, that she's
Yes.
missing out on an opportunity, and she's called all kind of names, and a further level of abuse happens because she may stand up and say, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to report you, or whatever it is. She now becomes the person that's look foolish and is losing out on an opportunity because they are so egotistical in their thinking and behavior that they think that one is their right, and secondly that the woman should allow them to do it. It's an opportunity for her, a great opportunity for her to allow the situation to continue. Lucy, are you there?
All right. That I think that question should do with historical way of how societies, communities have been since BC and after the death of Christ, I believe to say men they have men are structured with dominance. So they have got that system where they can lure women based on the kingship that they have been given, or maybe let's say the kingship which they were built on, culturally, and also they have got that gender, let's say gender advantage, because a man, when you look into historical thing, a man is there and is there. So when a man is in power and he knows to say, I've got the strength, you know, you look at a woman and what kind of level of education can you do does she have, so to say? What kind of a level of education does this woman have? Then you, when you take advantage of the same power that you have on that person, you understand my point?
I got you really well. Let me see what if Lucy can come in because she's trying to speak, but we are not hearing her at all. So Lucy, if your mic is unmuted, um, go right ahead, unmute your microphone and speak to us. We know that you're unmuted, but we're not hearing you at all. Turn your microphone up or something. We're not hearing. Or you might be having internet challenges where you are, but we're not hearing you at all. Let's continue, Emmanuel. Let's continue, Mr. Isaac, because she seemed to be having some difficulty. She's there and she's unmuted, but no one in the studio can hear her at all. So yes, go right ahead.
Yes, as I was saying, men have got that system of when they realize to say there is uh, uh, power, let me say power imbalances, they take advantage. When they see there is less of less knowledge in a woman, they take advantage. So those things, it is in men that they should rule. It is in men that they should be the head and not the tail. So men have got that thing. In Bemba they say, uh, in my language back here in Zambia, in my language in Bemba, they say chimbwipakulila nishipalekwa shintilile. What I mean is, uh, for a man to say, for a man to take action on a woman, he knows his strength, he knows where he knows his backup. You understand? So men, they take advantage, one, because they know the people that are higher than them, who can favor their their exploitations. They know people that can favor them, even though they've got families that are in power. They've got people in the government that are in power that can favor them. So it gives them more advantage to stand a chance to exploit women every time when they get a chance. I believe you understand this point.
Yes, I am understanding you. And this subject matter, I think what we will have to do is have a part two of this conversation because there's so many different areas of this conversation, of this that we want to talk about. We haven't talked about the legal aspect of it. What are the legal repercussions um, that men should face, or if there are any legal frameworks within the countries for for um, for men to face. And we still haven't heard um, the conversation coming from a female's voice. And I know Lucy is trying to get in. Lucy, if you could unmute your microphone again and let's give it a try one more time. And I will know when you unmute yourself. But one of the things I want to have in the conversation is to actually hear a few females discussing with it because we are men and we will only see things um, as much as we know it exists and we're trying to be fair and sympathetic to what women go through. But it's nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth, as they say. And so that we want to hear this conversation with women voices as well, speaking it from a point perspective of what they go through, what their girlfriends go through, what their mothers go through, what their sisters go through. They have the experience themselves. And so it's fair that we give them the opportunity to speak to this conversation and we hear their voice as well. So we will definitely have to do an extension of this program. I mean, we still have some time, but I want to hear it from a female's perspective. Okay, Lucy, are you there still? Are you there now? Are you there,
Gosh, I
Lucy?
don't know what the problem is.
All
So,
right, you are here now. I can hear you now. Go right ahead.
all right. So my perspective on the matter is that just as Mr. Isaac is from saying, most men are the reason why women tend to sell their body. You know, to sell when you get emotionally broken, like damaged.
Hold on, Lucy. Hold on, Lucy. There's a lot of noise in your background. If you can get to a quiet place, we'd appreciate it so, so much. There's a lot of people in the background and there's a lot of noise. So if you can minimize that noise, I would appreciate it because you're live on the air and other people.
Hello, hello. Am I enough?
There's a lot of static on your phone as well.
Am
Okay,
I?
go ahead. Go ahead now.
All right. So it's really unfortunate that I'm joining late, but would really love to have a part two of the show. So men are the reason why we women are mostly damaged. They take advantage of the fact that they are superior on the job and we are inferior. So if I give you, like women, we tend to have crossroads where we think like, if I fail to do this, where will I find another job? Because it took me so much in order for me to get this job that I want. Again, if I secure this job, I'll always be what? Be sleeping with my boss in terms of favors or anything. Most of all, there are certain women who do that they are married. Come to think of it, their conscience, each day they go home damaged. They wouldn't even close it to anyone. Some they even fail to say, if I report him, he's superior than me, he is financially stable. It's the same as I've already lost the case. Who is willing to stand up against certain people? Because men do really instill fear on the job in terms of them expecting sex from us. And it really triggers our minds to a point whereby we feel as if we are less human, our emotions are not validated, more like we are just beings, like walking dead. We just know that we have certain roles to play, but we fail to know to say we have the right to report them. Even if we report them, we have a lot of questions. People, the society won't say the man was in the wrong. They'll say to say, it's the woman. The woman is always being pointed at, she's the wrong one. Maybe the dress code, we don't know what she had put on. So it's an emotional damage whereby if for instance I'm not married, I'll feel as if anybody wants to be in a relationship with me. Excuse me, ish, you're making noise. I'll feel as if everybody wants to be in a relationship with me will be needing me physically, and then that's where now I won't be knowing who truly loves me and who truly doesn't, because I always think and quote the saying which goes to say all men are the same. In our language, you'd say "Ataba ome bamo bene fe bonse," meaning to say even if your intentions are pure, but because of that experience, you would find like even in it cannot be that I just give myself certain situations would be maybe it's rape, you molest me, I'm damaged. Even if the next person who will come will have pure intentions toward me, I always have that concept of saying they are all the same. Rather, there are others who will say, let me just focus on myself, not get married and devote myself, maybe doing charitable organizations. But there are also others. You have to know that we are in a world where not what how you think isn't the capacity of which another person thinks. So the other person will be so much damaged. Others will get help and think of it as every day it's a reminder to always tell them never to give up and strive for their dreams and be the person they would want to be. Others maybe will end up becoming police officers, lawyers, but others, look at others, they will turn to be prostitutes. The same prostitutes men will turn to say, I wouldn't marry a prostitute, whilst not knowing fully well We normally say that one man can change the whole world. Even if one man can change the whole world, one thing, one man can never change the whole world if the whole world does not want to change. So the eruption of certain mindsets, it's really something that most men have to work on. You have to certain think, what if this person is actually my sister? Would you do that to your own sister? What if this person is also my mother? We said to say educate a girl child, you're educating the whole nation, but no one has ever thought about a man. Educating him becomes he's the head of the house. How does one run his masculine love, whereas he pretends to be someone he's not? This is the facade which keeps on going on, whereby men who pretend to be something they are not. At home, they would even pretend, but when they are with the people, they don't even have to pretend. You hear someone to say, "Oh, that one, she's an easy girl." If you just tell her to say, she will be fired. And in terms of certain situations, we pick up decisions and choices which will lead us into certain consequences. There are sexually transmitted infections. Some doesn't just come because of teenage pregnancy, but men are also to blame because there are certain times you molest me, I don't know the sexually transmitted infections you had, you also transfer that to me. So there are certain times whereby I would really love this show to come on board because there are legal aspects also posing to this same show. It's about emotional damage, also legal aspect, fear, everything has to do with emotions, which is really complex. And I did love if my co-host would have also been here. But there are certain situations whereby we feel as if more like we have been put in a box, but we want to explore, like come out of the box, but you keep on pushing us back to the hole. So on this topic, that's the only thing that I had to contribute so far. It's just that time is not with me though.
Wow, you see why it was important. Thank you so much, Lucy, for that contribution, and that's why I was saying, Isaac, that it was important for us to hear um, from a woman's perspective, to hear their voice, to hear what how they see this thing. And it's a big discussion. And I really don't believe that we will do justice to this subject, justice to this discussion in one setting. So I'm going to actually put a part um, to this discussion for next week's program on Friday, the same time, same place. And for those of you that are listening, we know that you're there. If you have any comments you want to make, you can easily text us at 1-868-397-5961, or you can text Lucy. She can give you her number, and you can text us there and make your contributions there as well. But let's talk a little bit more about what Lucy said. There's so many areas to discuss. She talked about the emotional trauma. She talked about the legal framework. We talked about all of those things. How do you know after you go through all of that? You see women acting up sometimes down the road, like you said, being a police officer or being a prison officer. Why did they choose that career? You might not know that she chose that type of career because now she wants to put herself in a position where she can defend herself and defend her young ones. You know, the process of how she do things and why she does things, because in a sense she's been damaged, and nobody knows that you're dealing with a damaged professional woman, and how she reacts to you and she reacts to life is dependent on whether she gets healing from what she went through, the trauma she went through with the exploitation that she went through earlier in life. We almost running out of time, but I want to get you guys spinning it. Let's talk to Emmanuel first. Let me hear your final thoughts on this, and then I'll go over to Lucy to do the same. I mean, sorry, not Emmanuel. Isaac, are you there?
Oh yeah, yes, sir. I'm here. I'm here.
So let me hear your final wording on this, and then I'll ask Lucy, because we kind of running out of time, because we're gonna come back next week and finish discussing this.
All right. Um. With whatsoever that Lucy said, I might say everything is correct, but there are things that we also as men should look into when where this issue is concerned. Uh, we have got disadvantages and advantages over this issue as men and women. So women, they are facing it at the largest point because they are less strength. They are less stronger to protect themselves. They do not have who to talk to. They do not have who they can engage, and also vulnerability, economic hardship is killing them. I think what Lucia said, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of points that we can look into next week. But all I would say right now is that we need to have a solution. We need to come up with institutions that would teach us that would teach the world, or that will help women to stand strong in their society. I think that's all for now.
And that's great. That's a great point and great observations. And next week when you come back, you talk about being a pastor. And one of the things I want to bring up in part of the solution in some institutions that could bring healing is the whole spiritual aspect, the God aspect, the church aspect. How do we get into that, and what part or what role does the church play um, in that as well? In Okay, I think Lucy got bumped off, and we just have about 2 minutes. If she comes in, then that's fine. But folks, we kind of running out of time here this morning. It's really been a great conversation. There's so much more ground to cover in this this series. I have to put it like a series now in this conversation of men who exploit women on sexually on the job. And if you have your comments, please, even after the show, text us at 1-868-397-5961. That's WhatsApp. And you can, you know, go to our website and also share that information. Or if you're in touch with Lucy, you can contact Lucy. If you want to be part of the show, you can ask to be part of the show. We would definitely consider having you, because we want to hear women's voices in regards to this. The conversation continues next week, Friday, at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 3 p.m. Zambian time and 2 p.m. Nigerian time. I want to thank my guest, Isaac Bualia, and our host, Lucy, for really making an attempt. She's not well today at all, but she did a heroic thing by coming into the studio and at least uh, making that great effort to make her contributions in today's topic. We appreciate that so much, Lucy. And for all our listeners out there, we appreciate you guys. We will see you next week, Friday, same time, same place. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, right here on Caribbean Connect. Take care. Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Isaac, you see, I get so accustomed to Emmanuel being on the show. Thank you for filling in for him. If you want to be on the show next week, you have an open invitation. We are glad to have you. See you next week. Thanks for making your contributions. Been great talking to you. God bless
Thank you
everyone.
so
Take
much.
care. Bye bye. All right, my people. Here we go.
Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed Globally, where every voice builds a better world.
Okay, folks, well, that's it for today as far as Voices of Youth Unleashed globally. Tune in again next week, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, uh, 3 p.m. Zambian time, and 2 p.m. Nigerian time. It's been my pleasure. And I want you guys to know that I do appreciate you for being on the show. We have a prize to give to someone next week if they show up on the show and if they make a comment or they make a contribution, or even better yet, if they come into the studio, you ask for the link, come into the studio and make your contribution verbally, we have a prize for you. Trust me, you would love it. All right. So until next week, folks, tune in at around 12 p.m. today. 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's in the next 2 hours. We have an amazing broadcast coming up. Hard Talk Between Sisters with Dr. Linda Bing. It's going to be awesome. She's on the estrogen segment, and we can't wait for that to happen. It's going to be amazing. So, if you have a link to our station, stay right there. If you have a link, share it with as many people as you can. And tell them there's great things happening on this network. You guys need to get in here and really listen and support and learn. And you can feel free to make suggestions of what you would like to hear on our station as well. Take care, folks. We talk to you real soon.
Voices of Youth Unleashed globally. The world is listening. Are you ready to speak? Young people everywhere are rising with power, purpose, and passion. Now it's your time to be heard, seen, and celebrated on a global stage. Voices of Youth Unleashed globally is a bold international platform giving young changemakers, dreamers, creators, and leaders a place to speak out, stand up, and spark change. Whether you're a passionate speaker, a creative artist or poet, a young entrepreneur or innovator, a fearless activist or advocate, this is your movement, your moment, your microphone. What we offer: global showcases and youth spotlights, opportunities to speak at international events, cross-cultural connections and collaborations, mentorship, media exposure and leadership training. No borders, no limits, just youth power unleashed. We're calling on schools, organizations, youth groups, and communities to join the wave. Invite us to your city, your space. Contact us today. +1 868 397 5961. Voices of Youth Unleashed globally, where every voice builds a better world.
Might as well make this plug in here right now. We are in the business of a lot of creativity here at the network, and we have a game. It's called I Can Math. It's a wonderful game. It's a really amazing game for children between the ages of 5 to 13. And we are raising money to help someone finish university, to pay for their tuition and stuff like that. If you want to be a part of that, if you want to be a part of that, you want to be able to make your contribution by purchasing one of these games, so that we can raise the required funds to put this person through university and deal with some of their medical bills. Please give us a call as we try to sell these games. We have a lot of the games, We have 1 million games, and we are trying to sell these games to raise funds for children and for people all over the world who find themselves in situations, and we want to help. You can help. You can help by purchasing one of the games. Let me show you, or let me tell you, I'll play an ad. One of the ways that you can help and who to contact to get your order in. I'll play this ad for you right now, and we will
help a child succeed in math. An app for Android devices and designed for children between the ages of 5 through 13 years, with 50 math games included. Would you purchase just one I Can Math game for 100 Zambian kwacha for a child who is struggling with math? Your small gesture could make a big difference in their learning journey. Contact Lucy at +1 260 76573 8266 to sponsor a game today. Let's help our children say I can math. Thank you for your support in this amazing initiative. Call Lucy today at +260 76573 8266 and share this advertisement with your business associates, family, and friends.
Yeah, so all of you people in Zambia, you heard the ad. You can easily contact Lucy, our host, and you heard the number. If you want to get more information, you can always contact us here at the station. If you missed writing down her number, you can easily text us at 1-868-397-5961. And I'll play the ad again for you in a little bit so that you can um, be absolutely sure that you have Lucy's number and you can get in touch with her. All right, folks. So we go back to playing some music and other things and ads and stuff like that. And remember, have a great